Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Proud Mary podcast with me, your host, Monique J, aka Miss Mo, and
92 Stag.
welcome to another episode of the Proud Mary podcast. I know y'all, we a day behind. We know life be life, and so we had to push it back. But we have an amazing show for you all. But before we get started, we want to do a little bit of the housekeeping. First thing is, if you have not yet subscribed, we need you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And as soon as you come in, go ahead and give us a thumbs up so that we can let we can let YouTube know that you love the show and you want them to send this show and this episode to other people. So without further ado, we are going to get into our first area of the day, and you all know it is Let's Talk Politics. All right, so what we got, what have they been doing over this past week? Well, we didn't had 8 days now. We know they didn't have a lot going on.
There's a
They had a lot
lot of
going on
stuff.
last week. What's up, Stag?
There's a lot of stuff going on. So, many of you may or may not know that yesterday we had the Attorney General Pam Bondi to testify in front of the House Judiciary Committee. It was wild.
Yes, it
I
was.
think that's an understatement. It was wild.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told you, I don't. She need to stop trying to talk tough. It don't sound right.
Yes, she
It
gets
does
she
not
gets
sound right.
flustered. She gets super
Hmm.
flustered, and her little helper back there behind her was so funny. Cause she was getting mad or whatever too. It was so funny. She was sliding her little notes. Pam was so busy trying to go off, she ain't see the notes. It was something else.
It's just the way that she's like that. Don't you yell at me under this president, Donald J. Trump, the greatest president in the country.
It is so funny. You
Oh
so
my
right.
gosh. We have taken all of these bad criminals off the streets thanks to the greatest president, Donald J. Trump. You're not even a real lawyer. Oh, spare me.
I'm sorry, it's not funny, but it is. Cause she do it's, and you know what? I took the time because I always got too much time on my hands. And I took the time to like go back and get interviews of her talking, in the past to see
Hmm.
if this is how she actually speaks, and realize that no, it's not. It's she got Donald Trump. I feel like that's what they all got. Once they start working with him, they get the Trump effect,
Hmm.
and now they all got to be Bad Butts.
She's funny though. She like
So
a little
what?
mouse.
Hold on, I'm putting for the combo. Okay,
Hmm.
click here. All right. So what I'm gonna do, guys, what we're gonna do is because we it's funny to us, but we want y'all to be able to see exactly what going on. So we're gonna pull some of our favorite little clips for today and let you guys see what y'all missed. If y'all did not get to see old Pam, we're gonna first show I ain't gonna say my fave, but I guess she somebody's fave. Uh your girl Crockett, where she thought she was going off. Matter of fact, no, we want to get, because see, that one wasn't good because Crockett was talking too much. How about, yeah, we go with this one. Somebody who was actually, you know, talking and talking back. It was a good going back and forth. Old Jasmine, she did what she do. She's so busy trying to get a viral moment that she was over talking everything and didn't give Pam a chance to talk. But here we go. Let's see, guys. Let's get a little sound. And here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Attorney General Bondi, according to your department, a child is sexually abused in the United States every 9 minutes. And the vast majority of survivors never get justice. And that's one of the reasons why I think the Epstein case has resonated so deeply with so many Americans. And the other reason, I think, is because it has revealed a two-tiered system of justice. And the powerful are protected and the survivors rarely get any accountability. And the Epstein files contain evidence of a multi-decade international criminal conspiracy involving some of the wealthiest and the most powerful people in the world. There's evidence of financial crimes, political corruption, sex trafficking, and of course, horrible sexual abuse. And I want to remind everybody, this isn't a game. These are real people, people who have suffered. Okay. Justice Department asked Secretary Lutnick about his ties to Epstein.
Excuse me. Secretary Lutnick has addressed those ties himself.
I'm asking you, has the Justice Department specifically asked Secretary Lutnick about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein?
He has addressed those ties himself.
Has the DOJ asked Secretary Phelan about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein?
I don't know whether he has addressed those or not.
Has the Deputy Secretary Feinberg talked to the Department of Justice about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein? Yes or no? Has the Department of Justice talked to Deputy Secretary Feinberg about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein, which are clearly spelled out in the files? It's a very simple question. It's not a trick question. I'm just asking you.
Yeah, I'm stunned that you want to continue talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Epstein
Okay, I'm reclaiming my time. I'm asking you not a trick question, a simple question. Okay, so what is clear is we have evidence.
Do you know who Chris Malin is?
We have evidence that 3 senior officials within the Trump administration have ties to Jeffrey Epstein. And what?
Okay, I have to pause it here because my question to you, Stag, is when they say that ties, like I think she ends up asking that as well. What are they trying to insinuate? I guess is my thing, because it's a bunch of people in there in those files that it's a ton of them. So everybody had some kind of experience or talking to some kind of tie. Why do you think they are so focused on just the Trump and the Trump administration? Hold on. You muted.
You know why? It's something, because, everybody is not going to go looking through the files to find out how they are connected or in what context that they are in the files. Mm-hmm. So they're, spinning a narrative that you think they're in there. So a lot of people think that they're covering up, but that's really it. My question would be, of all the things that are in there, why are they just focused on the people in this administration?
Right. Mm-hmm. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. Like, and they don't think that people with sense, right? I'm gonna just say people like us that have sense. People who have taken time that actually have went through, they wouldn't say like, well, why aren't y'all talking about the people in the like right now? You all who are in office right now, there are people who are in office right now that are in there. Why are you all only focusing on these people? And ironically, the people that you're trying to talk about that were assigned or in the cabinet, they were nominated by the president. We didn't vote y'all people in, and y'all been up in there hobnobbing and still was doing it with the man after the fact.
Mm-hmm. So and somebody made a good point. Those victims that they keep parading around, right? Mm-hmm. They're saying that the reasons why nothing can really happen is because those victims now, they were... Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Am I here? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just was trying.
Those victims were, although they were groomed when they were young, that they became they worked for Jeffrey, so they helped to recruit girls and inflict the same abuse on other girls. So they are kind of like co-conspirators. As they got older, adults, they were a part of it. So I don't know why they keep parading them women around, the
Yeah,
same
I want
ones.
to talk to you on that too.
I
We're gonna
don't.
look at one more clip from this.
Its ties to Epstein when he chose
Yeah.
him to lead the Department of Commerce. Was he aware?
Chris Malin was a Border Patrol agent.
Okay, so I'm going to conclude
And
that
she
the president, in
never
fact,
mentioned
did
him
know about his
in
ties
her
because
district.
he was the next door neighbor.
Shame on you.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
You're
This
from
is
a tiny,
pathetic.
beautiful
This is
state.
pathetic, Mr.
Committee will
Chair.
be in order.
I am not asking trick questions here. The
You got your
American
5
people
minutes.
have a right to know the answers to this. These are senior officials in the Trump administration. This is not a game, Secretary.
I'm Attorney General.
My apologies, I couldn't tell. By 2008,
Okay. So, rude, first off, is what I'm going to say. Second, political theater. Third, again, Pam Bondi kept saying, and again, I'm just wondering, do they think that we're dumb? Like, anybody with common sense is saying, why are y'all so heated and intense about this now, and y'all wasn't 4 years ago, and y'all re-looked into this when you looked into him committing, taking his life, and nobody talked about what went on, the victims, nothing.
Mm-mm. No. And somebody else had asked the question, did Pam Bondi ask the question, why didn't Merrick Garland,
Yeah, she
why
asked several
didn't he
times.
try to prosecute the co-conspirators? So that's the question that they should want all of these years. Why were the co-conspirators hidden and given deals? Because that's the basis of Ghislaine Maxwell's habeas claim, is that she had this non-prosecution agreement that Jeffrey worked out for all of his co-conspirators. So
Oh,
that's a
really?
part of her habeas claim that she's making.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So he knew he was going to guess disappear. So you see that they've been saying
Well, no, this was from the first time that he got arrested.
oh, the first time. Okay.
They set up these agreements to where none of the people involved with him or the co-conspirators could be prosecuted. He was the only one, and then he got that little sweetheart deal. So really, it was like nobody was held accountable. And so that's what she's hinging on. She tried that before, so I don't know how successful it's going to be, because that was a state prosecution. So that has nothing to do with federal charges. So
Now let's get on these victims. And I know people, we proud, Mary. We're gonna give it to you nice when we can and rough when we must. So I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I definitely, as a person who has had that experience in my life, right? I definitely, my heart goes out. But this is looking like it's 40 years later, however long, so most of them, 30 years, let's say 20, 30 years. And this is looking like we just, now at this point, we finna milk this to get some money. Because I don't understand how they would be so okay with now trying to side with what the Democrats is saying, when they themselves definitely should feel how we feel. Why ain't nobody been did this? And the fact that they are doing what they're doing and showing up, standing up, and then they was ready to film Jasmine. Did you see that? They filming her while they knew she was finna do her little routine, and then they go on NBC mad that they go on NBC to talk afterwards, but they so mad that some of their names wasn't redacted. Well, you all on TV saying you a
and see,
victim.
I hate to say this. I don't believe that those are real victims. I don't. I think that them, it's in their interest to keep some stuff, like their names or whatever redacted. But again, if they were also a part of what he was doing, then that makes him just as guilty. And it also um, is a way for them to help to cover for Democrats, because that's mostly who was in there. That's mostly who was in there, was a bunch of Democrats, Hollywood people, the people that you people on the left are, always talking about, and they was doing some really sick, sick things in there. So I wouldn't be listening to them victims. Victims.
Somebody brought
Okay.
that up today who I was talking to too. What and of course I just haven't, we all got a lot going on, but I definitely got a lot going on right now to have the time to look at the names of the people who are there and then go through and see. I said, well, the thing is, will we see their names? Because it's going to be redacted, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But trying to see, like you saying, confirming whether or not these are actual. Because I'm just, from what I knew about Virginia, she wasn't really
Mhm.
rolling with them. And
No.
so for her brother and sister-in-law to now be so on the side with these people, like representing her, I'm like, y'all, I don't think y'all represent her, because from when she was live and the way she was talking, she wouldn't have been
Mhm.
she wouldn't have been for the route that this is going. Is my,
Those are not those are not blood brothers of hers. Those are her stepbrothers, and I don't trust them either, because so I had been in this Epstein thing 10, 11 years ago,
Mhm.
and I had stumbled across Virginia Giuffre, who then was known as Virginia Roberts,
Right.
right? And I had heard her do different interviews and to tell her story and what happened. So I've known of her over the years. So these other women are nothing like she was really interested in getting getting stuff out. That's distracting. Getting
Y'all
stuff
sound
out there. Um,
Can you hear me? Oh, I
no,
didn't
but
know that.
it's just
Okay.
distracting.
Okay. Okay. I'm like,
the when they're the way that they portray these things is very, very different. She A lot of people don't know that the way that Virginia got away from Jeffries was he sent her out of the country for a job, and she met her husband and didn't go back.
okay.
So that was how she got away from him. Um, I just don't believe these other women. I believe that maybe they were involved. Maybe they came in another way, but ended a whole other way. And I just don't trust those, because it's like with the same handful of them,
Every time.
and they seem so political.
Yeah, they're very political. They're so offended. Like, I think some of them were saying, "Oh, our names, we've been calling, and nobody didn't." I need to see proof of that. I need
Hmm.
like, I just feel like it's kind of, that's why I like watching those things, but I don't, because I feel like we don't still get the real, because nobody actually has enough time to just call people, on that stuff and bust it out. They tried during this yesterday, but it was still not full for me. It still wasn't a full experience
Hmm.
of proving how these people are lying.
Hmm. But if people have been following it, because I know you've heard those on the right saying, like, finally y'all are asking for these Epstein files and stuff, because we've been asking for them 10, 11 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
right? We were talking about him and his temple on the island and what goes on there before people were even aware of who
Mm-hmm.
he was. So we were elated when he got arrested, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this all just seems very political with these victims. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
the Democrats with all of their theater in it. And
Mm-hmm.
I would encourage everybody to go look through that stuff yourself and see all of the people that they still have on TV, still influencing people, people still in the industry, still influencing people who had more than just a connection with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of people were looking for favors from him. They were looking for money from him. They wanted to borrow things. And then there were some who were very much into the dark things that he was into. Uh,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
seen
sick,
something from
really
the
sick.
is it the I can't remember the guy's name, the Victoria's Secret, but they said something highlight something.
Oh, yes, I knew about him in that dig, 10, 11 years ago. That's why I don't buy Victoria's Secret stuff. I don't support Bath and Body Works. Les Wexner owns Victoria's Secrets and Bath and Body Works, and he pretty much gave Jeffrey Epstein power of attorney over all of his affairs. Jeffrey
Mm-hmm.
could sign tax returns on his behalf. He could do whatever he wanted. And Lex Wexner basically owns um, Columbus, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
which is a trafficking hub. If anybody knows about it, it's a
Mm.
trafficking hub. And I've heard people say that, like in the bathrooms, and stuff, there's signs, about watch out for trafficking and stuff. So he also got girls with Luke Brunel, who ended up, I believe, killing himself once he got arrested or his name had come out. Um, who would a lot of those models that you would see when Victoria, if you go back and look at the video
Mm-hmm.
a long time ago with Victoria's Secrets, they used young girls, like 13, 14-year olds,
Mm-hmm.
before it was really the brand that it is now, right? And some of the John Luke Burnell, and there was another gentleman, I can't think of his name, but Jeffrey would get girls from them because they owned modeling companies, but they specialized in foreign girls from
Mm.
Russia, Slavic girls, that kind of, way over across the water. And they would get them and bring them in. So, it's
Well,
I would encourage people to go and
check
look
it out.
through them files yourself. Stop listening to the media.
Yeah, well, before we go to our next topic, I just had to end with this because I know I just have to hear I have to hear your thoughts on this one. Hold on.
May I respond very briefly to her statement?
Well, I think we can do that
Okay.
probably on
Next.
one of our members' time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now pause real quick before we go into this. You know how any other time when she would want to comment and it was a Republican's turn, they would give her a chance to say what she wanted to say. You watch,
Hmm.
you watch how that don't happen on this one.
I don't want that to get away. Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Behind me, I have 3 documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact. A list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name and you redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you, that was in the title, the victims' survivors' names, all right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking. Co-conspirators, fully redacted. And by the way, I'm going to unredact them here. Les Wexner is in this. Now, your your deputy attorney general said, oh, well, he appears hundreds of times in the files, but he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking, not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the web.
Skip forward.
Accountability?
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer? Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
Mr.
Chairman.
This is how this works.
Can I have my time?
Mr.
Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from.
All right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that? It's a political joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to his next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out
Where
of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
4,700, and we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get. You're a failed politician. You need to get on these matters.
Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information.
Okay, they trying to get split. Okay, so now I need to know what you think. Like, I know that's the guy you told me that is the rhino, right? Hold on. That's the guy you told me is the rhino, right?
Mm-hmm. Master, is that Master?
Yeah. Does he think, does he, is it a lot of things? Because he is the only one that I have seen ever, like, truly go against somebody like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what B got in his bonnet. But as of late, he seems a little anti the administration, no matter what. So I believe if you look at his voting record, he has voted not for one Trump agenda item.
Yeah, I saw it.
And that's crazy to me. And he was one of the main people to push for the release of these files. And I think it's because he thought that it would implicate Trump. But
well,
I don't know if you heard.
He still tried to insinuate that when he said,
yeah,
you
but
say
I don't
he
know if
mentioned
you heard
5,000 times.
There's a phone call, transcript of a phone call that was released in their dispatch that showed that Trump was thanking them for finally arresting Epstein. So there's that, saying that everybody knew that he was no good, basically. So
well, you know what they tried to do with that though. I was watching mainstream media, right? So you know they're trying to twist that, because you know how he says he didn't, you know, like, what did he say? He didn't know. Not that he didn't clearly say he didn't know, but he was like, I don't know what he said. He made some statement like he didn't know all deep, but when he found out, you know, whatever, he kicked him out of the thing. So they're trying to twist that when he says, I'm so glad they say he called and he said, I'm glad y'all found, you know, got him or something like that, because everybody knew. They're trying to twist that he now is saying everybody knew, but he said he didn't know. That's what mainstream media is doing now. And that's why Massey brought that up too. That's why he brought it up too, because he's trying to say, well, was he telling the truth? Hey, Yunky. Well, let's shout out our people that's here. We got Sacred Grove. Hey, we got Jerry. We have Yunky, our regulars. Thank you guys. We appreciate you so much. Please share out, tap, chat, comment. It helps the algorithm send our live out So hey guys, and keep on commenting. We're gonna put y'all up there and shout y'all out. So yeah, I don't know. I'm so, and I know it may sound mean, but I'm so over. I just knew we needed to. There's been this big old thing, this past week about it. I'm so over this Epstein. It ain't gonna do nothing in my life. Like, it's not going to impact my life, no shape, form, or fashion. They're not going to truly prosecute anybody, because what you're going to prosecute them on is even too late for conspiracy. While they trying to say who conspired, it's too late to do a case on that. And unless you're going to be able to prove that these women, were children, and you can find the people and prove exactly what's going on, it's just a good distraction, and sadly, it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Well, I think that it's still important because although we don't know what's going to happen with the people that were in there, but at least if you know who these people are, how they're connected, you know who to clean up out the government on your own. Quit voting for these people who stop supporting these artists who are involved in these things. Because like I said, when I did my, stuff, like I said, 10, 11 years ago, it was hard for me to watch. I don't watch TV now, right? Can't watch TV, can't watch movies, don't want to listen to music because I know what they're all involved in, deeper than just the surface stuff that people are seeing now. And it's hard to support the things that when you know intentions behind it, what these people do behind closed doors. Because I think I mentioned to you about the Twitter pages that was out there in the open until all of this stuff started coming to light, and then people wanted to shut down their pages and stuff, but they were operating out in the open because nobody knew, right? So I still want light shining on what these people have done, because then it's up to me as a citizen to do my due diligence and make sure that I don't vote these people into power, vote the people that they're associated in the power. I don't support these artists, these movies, or none of this stuff that goes on. Yeah, that's it. But also another part of it, and then we can move on to Keith Ellison, I guess. But a connection here is that Savannah Guthrie, her husband was a fixer in the Clinton White House. Right. And something in me just does not believe that this is a kidnapping. I don't know. I haven't from the beginning. And then I found out that Samantha Guthrie is worth $40 million, and she's offering $50,000 to find her mama. That don't seem like you really trying to give up a lot to find her. And also, she was one of the first to interview Epstein victims, and Virginia Giuffre was one of the victims that she had interviewed on primetime TV. So it's showing a little sprinkling of the Clintons. Yeah, a little sprinkling. Maybe it is to keep whatever she knows under wraps, because everything that is everything that is revealed in an interview is not always aired. Right. So maybe they think that she may know something. Maybe her husband being a fixer for the Clintons. I know it had to keep him busy. Now that they have agreed to come before and testify, it's supposed to be the 27th and the 28th of this month now.
Yeah, 27th and 28th.
Maybe it's a way to kind of keep under wraps, what some people know. If you haven't looked at the Clinton body count, go look into that. Go look into that. The most dangerous thing to be is a friend or associate of the Clintons.
Them people, exactly. So, did you see the whole deposition with Ghislaine? I guess we'll get off. It was ironic that they did make sure that they stated that one thing if she talked, what she would say for sure is she can confirm that Clinton and or Trump had nothing to do with nothing. Now that's
Yeah,
interesting.
but I know she lied about Trump. I mean, about Clinton. So
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was interesting that they tried to throw him in there or whatever too, but
hmm
also that that she was saying she would if she get a pardon, and then you see how they tried to flip that now on Trump and saying, well, why won't he just say that it's out of, because he ain't gonna just do what y'all want him to say. He said it's something he ain't thought about and he ain't thinking about. So that's enough. What bothers me with them is they think they gonna tell grown people how to talk and what to say and how to say it. I be like, if you
hmm
don't shut up.
he called her an evil woman.
Yeah.
So why would he then pardon her for whatever information? Because that's you, right? You sit in jail and rot. Because we still gonna find out this, and we got all of the court stuff, the stuff that went on in the investigations. Um, really don't need much testimony from her.
Yeah, don't need nothing from her. Not only that, at this point, like they were saying, a lot of them quote unquote victims then turned into predators or whatever too, which we understand that sadly
Yeah.
that's what happens. But now I did ask because you sent I got the drop with the video or whatever you said at 3:15. Where did you send that to me at?
Primary podcast.
I only got the thing from your. I got
No,
the.
text message. I
Oh,
texted to
okay,
you.
okay, okay.
I texted to you.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say because I only got the what you call it. All
I
right, so
texted to you.
go on to your boy Keith Ellison.
So Keith Ellison, the Attorney General of Minnesota, testified today
Hmm.
in Congress over the about the fraud in Minneapolis. Um, I, in my opinion, it seems like Mr. Ellison was throwing Mr. Tim Waltz under the bus.
Yeah.
And I'll let y'all hear it, and then I'll go on with my comments afterwards. But when I heard it, that's what I heard. I think he's throwing Tim under the bus,
Now
and
again,
from what
because you
I'm
remember.
hearing is, hey, I'm here to help.
Now again, because
Let's work together.
when you send me the clip and the timestamp, it ain't necessary. So is it when he is giving his introduction, or is he talking to somebody?
No, it's when just as the lady, she stopped questioning, and then it's a guy. I don't know who that guy is. He says a little something about what he did to try to get the attention of the attorney general, and
Mm-hmm.
then it goes over to him, and she, you know how they give all of these statements, and then ask the attorney general a question, and then it's his answer to that question.
Okay, I'm trying to find because yeah, it ain't.
Because that's where,
3 minutes and 15 seconds was right at the beginning.
yeah, it's at the beginning of that, but
No,
it
I'm
should
saying
be her ending.
at the beginning of the hearing.
Oh,
Yeah, what you sent me, it's the full video.
oh yeah, that's what I
No,
just
you
watched
sent me
it.
the whole you sent me the whole 4 hour link. I didn't get a short clip. Unless you want to send
I
it to
know,
me.
but at 3 minutes and 15, that's where you go in at. Three
Okay,
minutes and 15,
I'm gonna put
three,
I'm
whatever
gonna
the
put it.
time stamp I put.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it, and you tell me if this is what you're talking about. Hold on.
3:53 or something like that. 3 minutes and
The proper response is not to dismiss concerns or rush to judgment. Traditionally, the officers are removed from the line. Even in
no, not
violent
Rand Paul.
tragedies, even in shootings when they've been shot at multiple times, wounded, the officers typically removed from this investigation because we think lethal force is such a thing that should be controlled and restricted.
Yeah, see, this is at 3
So
minutes and
No,
25
not Rand
seconds.
Paul.
the witness will be Harry Niska, represents.
As I'm saying, it's got to be further in.
House of Representatives.
It should be the lady with the purple top.
Representative Niska.
Okay, let me mute real quick. Let me stop it. not that weirdo guy. I can't stand him.
Because when I opened it up, it was right there at her questioning. I think maybe she's the minority, maybe she's a chair
Yeah, I know who you're
of
talking
the
about.
committee.
I don't remember when she was talking. I don't remember.
But it seems to me as if Keith Ellis is throwing Tim Walz under the bus and anybody else, and he is there saying, "Hey, I'm here to let's work together. Let's work together." Because he agreed with
I didn't
everything
get
that they
that.
were saying about the fraud. Like he wasn't disputing anything that they were saying. He was like, "Yep, I agree."
It's funny because I didn't like,
He was
especially
like,
this
"Yep,
right
I
here. Where
agree.
is this the part right here?
Let's work together. Let's work together."
Ordinary due process.
And you know,
from my perspective, simple. I'm not a big shot lawyer.
that right there. There you go, right
If you
there.
enter the country illegally, or you overstay a visa, should you be deported?
My simple answer is, sir, it depends.
Okay, so if somebody breaks into your home, should they be arrested for breaking and entering, or does it depend?
It's an entirely different scenario.
How's that?
Because immigration is essentially a civil, and the breaking into my home is a criminal matter.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So if there's laws that should be enforced, so we shouldn't enforce civil violations?
We absolutely should enforce them.
But you just said that it's a civil matter, so it's different. So if
No,
somebody
you enforce
creates
civil matters.
So if somebody commits a civil infraction, it shouldn't be enforced?
It should be.
Okay, so they should be deported.
No, they should have due process that is associated with their petition. So,
Okay,
for example,
so the act of entering the country illegally, you think we should say, well, did you really do it or not do it? It's pretty obvious that they did, right?
well, I mean, it would depend on the facts of the situation, and then they might say,
I just gave you the facts. They
Right, but-
entered the country without permission.
but Senator, what if they had a good faith basis to say they would be persecuted in their home country and subjected to real oppression there? Under international law, there are provisions for them to make a case.
That's a phenomenal point. Mexico and Canada, do you consider those to be safe countries or no?
Generally, I do, but there are certain
generally you
circumstances.
do?
Well, I mean, I would just say this.
You border Canada. Don't insult your neighbors to the north.
No, I love my neighbors to the
Okay,
north.
well, so
but
is it a generally safe country?
No, that's not it. It's the lady questioning him.
Could certainly be safe in Canada and Mexico.
Her.
I don't know what happened, but I dropped out. Hold on.
No, this is her.
On ICE and all of those issues, those are significant issues. I do focus
I
on
believe that's right.
a lot of issues that
I
come
can't
down
see
to
her yet.
fraud within the federal government. So again, want to thank you all for being here. Really appreciate your time. So I'll set the stage. We have a lot of families like mine that live in Iowa, Minnesota. I come from a blue-collar working family, a farm family. My parents farmed, they worked very hard. Their parents ahead of them worked very hard to get where we are today. I'm very privileged to sit in this seat today. My sister works for a trucking company. She and her husband farm. My brother is a blue-collar labor union worker for the railroad. Every one of their tax dollars needs to be protected because they work darn hard in all types of weather. They work outside. They don't have the privilege of sitting in a cushy office working 9 to 5. But what we have found in the federal government through years and years of the work that I have done on oversight is that 1 out of every $10 that Americans send to the federal government is squandered away and lost in fraud. 1 out of every $10. So there's no time to waste in giving Americans peace of mind about how we use their hard-earned dollars. We have seen examples like the Quality Layering Center in Minnesota recently, but this is happening in every single state. It's not just Minnesota, it is every single state. And accordingly, Mr. Chairman, I would like to submit my Squeal Award to Minnesota Governor Walz for the state's massive fraud ring for the record. I'm putting together, thank you. I'm putting together a package of pragmatic, bipartisan proposals because I have friends on the other side of the aisle that see this as a massive scam against the American public. They see this and they want to deal with it. They want to prevent waste from ever occurring again. For too long, Congress has pretended to search for who is actually responsible for the amount of fraud and waste in programs after those funds have already gone out to the states and localities. It's almost like a problem Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Gang might face. So right here, folks, well, the mystery is solved. Congress is responsible. By allowing weak incentives for states and localities to police spending after those grant funds are dispersed, fraud is able to increase more easily, and it's harder to recoup improperly used taxpayer dollars. So, Representative Niska, too often the federal government writes a check and then looks the other way. How should Congress redesign incentives to ensure states have real skin in the game and safeguards taxpayer dollars once those funds have left Washington, D.C.?
Well, thank you, Senator. And you're absolutely right that people respond to incentives, and especially immoral people respond to incentives. And unfortunately, we've had both in federal programs, but especially the way the Walz administration and Attorney General Ellison have overseen those programs in Minnesota, we have seen an enormous loss of our important taxpayer dollars. We should be tightening up eligibility requirements, making sure that states and local governments are actually going out and checking on whether meals are being served. The Feeding Our Future fraud scandal that we heard about was a situation where there were sites that were supposedly feeding kids where nobody could have fed them. And if Minnesota officials, including Attorney General Ellison's office, which was involved in litigation at that time, had just gone out and checked, they would have been able to find those problems. The problem is that Attorney General Ellison has fought to cover up the records from closed investigative files. He's fought in the courts and the legislature to amend our Sunshine Law so that he doesn't have to disclose what happened in those investigations, and that needs to change as well. But absolutely, the federal government needs to be overseeing our taxpayer dollars and making sure that states who are administering those programs are doing it better than Minnesota has done. It's been a complete failure.
Yes, thank you. And Attorney General Ellison, under your watch, unfortunately, Minnesota has achieved the largest COVID fraud scheme in American history. Under your watch, those whistleblowers who brought attention to the fraud and waste in your state faced retaliation. Under your watch, billions of tax dollars intended for unemployment insurance, supporting hungry children, just as described, children with autism, providing housing for the most vulnerable, keeping small businesses afloat through COVID, and more were instead, all of those dollars were funneled away into fraudulent schemes. So last month in an interview with CNN, you were asked if your office has done enough to stop the fraud. And you responded, "Of course we've done enough." And this is a quote, "Of course we've done enough. And we're doing more every single day. This is a political matter. This is not a serious thing." Those are your words.
Yeah.
How do I go back to my hardworking brother and my hardworking sister and every other American who's going out there and then sending their taxpayer dollars to Washington, D.C., only to have it squandered away in fraud? How do we respond to them? And how do we recoup those dollars from these programs that Minnesota should have been overseeing?
Senator Ernst, thank you. I really do believe that you're sincerely, earnestly trying to look out for taxpayer dollars. And I'm here to tell you that, of course, we're here to hold people accountable who commit fraud. I've prosecuted and convicted over 300 people since I've been the AG for Medicaid fraud. So I'm with you when you're trying to protect the public dollar. What I was saying in that interview is that rather than coming together on a bipartisan basis to stop fraud, the matter has been turned into a political football, which I bet you probably would agree it shouldn't be. We should come together to protect the public dollar, and it shouldn't be somebody's campaign ad. What we should do is do it together. So what are we doing? First of all, you should know that I can only prosecute crimes that the county attorney gives me or that the governor assigns me. I do not have authority to just prosecute anybody I want.
Yes, and I am over time.
Okay.
Thank you for that. But we need,
I'm here to help. I'm here to work with you.
What we need is your governor then to step up to the plate, and any crime that needs to be prosecuted, it needs to be done. The American taxpayer is tired of their dollars being funneled out of their pockets into scammers' pockets.
I think you're right.
Senator Moody.
All right. Woo-hoo-wee. So what you think?
Okay. So why I say that is he said, that I can't prosecute any crime unless the county attorney or the governor assigns me. I cannot prosecute whatever I want. So that's him throwing them under the bus. Like, if they didn't tell me to prosecute these cases and I didn't get assigned them from these people, there's nothing that I could do, right? So that was him throwing them under the bus.
Well, that's because he's doing that now. He's doing that now because he got busted out at the beginning, saying basically that he know about what's going on and he wasn't going to do nothing. Because they said, like, people, they pointed out.
This is the open.
Go ahead.
Mo, this is the open. Did you hear him? Hey, let's work together. I'm here to help. That's him saying, I'm ready to roll. I'll tell you what you want.
So y'all don't lock my butt up. That's exactly what he's saying.
Or at least a lighter sentence. That was all in it. Do you see how anxious he was? He couldn't even wait for her to finish talking to say, hey, let's work together. Let's work together. I'm here to help.
Now
that's what I got from what he was saying to her. Now,
I agree. Well, we got a comment.
He said, I'm here to work with you. What does that mean? I'm here to work with you. Meaning he there to work with the feds and whatever's going on. Because they see the writing on the wall,
so
right?
So he can get a sweetheart
now, also wanted to know that he's been the state IG, the state attorney general. Huh? I didn't hear you, Mom. You froze.
I didn't say anything. You were freezing. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Okay, he's the state AG. If he came to prosecute whatever he wants, like, what is Fannie doing then? Because she's just a district attorney.
Yeah, she kind of running everything. All right, I figured her stuff was going to go out. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of housekeeping right now. First of all, the people who are here live, thank you so much for joining us again for an episode of the Proud Mary Podcast, where we give it to you nice when we can and rough when we must. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Miss Mo, aka Let's Be Honest, and then we have 92 Stag. She will be back in, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and highlight some of our faves that come in here and read some of your comments. We have Shahidi said, with all this fraud, do we have an obligation to continue paying taxes? I say absolutely not. Well, Shahid, I'm going to say don't try that.
What I had saw, they said that it's like in all of the money that we spend, about $1.5 trillion is fraud. And if we weren't paying for that, we would need to pay income taxes because our tax liability as a nation would be about $900 billion. And that can be covered with trade and corporate taxes. So, yeah, the fraud is really a thing. But what I wondered before I got cut out of here, He's been the attorney general, like I said, and if he's the state attorney general, and he can prosecute whatever he wants, what was Fannie doing? Because she thinks that she can prosecute anybody that comes to
She can
Fulton
prosecute
County.
everybody. She gonna prosecute God if she could. She's
If
stuck.
you ain't in her state.
Yeah.
And like, is that a state statute, or is that, nationally, that attorney generals have to be referred cases by the governor and the county attorney? He was sworn in 2019, in January 2019, so 300 cases since 2019. I don't know if that's a good record. Before he was the Attorney General of Minnesota, he served in the U.S. Congress from 2007 to 2019, representing the 5th District in Minneapolis, and he also belongs to the Economic Policy Institute. You guys need to go do your research on there. That's the left-wing think tank where they get all of their ideas and narratives from.
All right.
Now, before he was a congressman, he was an attorney for 16 years, specializing in civil rights and defense law. Now, the county
attorney teaching his son to do the same thing.
That is an elected position, people of Fulton County. Your county attorney is, and Hennepin County is the largest local government in the state of Minnesota. So, yeah.
Sacred Grove says, sound like an Obama trade. Yeah, now he's looking like he's setting his son up for the same thing, to be in the same position. Mm-hmm. Well, you kind of did a good rollover into that. We're going to go on into our next segment, which is Let's Talk Law, and we are going to get on our favorite person in top area right now. Well, I ain't going to say she our favorite person because that would be a lie. Favorite person to talk about old Fulton County and Fannie. Fannie, whatever, somebody, and what they got going on over there, and they're gonna subpoena her man, right? Her boo thing getting subpoenaed.
Yep, he's already been subpoenaed, and he is supposed to testify tomorrow in front of the Georgia Senate Special Committee on Investigations, which is the oversight committee over the. It's a echo. It's the oversight committee, I guess, or for him. Mo.
I'm here.
You got an echo. I can hear myself. So the lieutenant governor. The lieutenant governor said that Nathan Wade must testify before the Georgia Senate panel because they want to know about their handling of the Georgia high-profile 2020 election case. So we'll see if he shows up. Don't think that he has a choice, but those of you who did not know, it has come out because the grand jury information has been unsealed in Fulton County from the election interference case. So the grand jury that Fannie had when she came out and announced, the charges before the grand jury had even came back and stuff, that grand jury. And again, Senator Perdue, the former senator of Georgia, said that the head of the GBI at the time called him in May of 2021 and said that he had seen evidence, bank transfers, video evidence, all of this evidence, and it should be investigated, a fraud in the election. November of 2021, he called Senator Perdue back and said, we're not going to investigate. The governor doesn't want us to investigate, the governor being Brian Kemp, so we're not going to investigate, and I thought that I should tell you why. And he said, I'm a team player. And for that, he is now the Superior Court judge of Cobb County. So beware, those of you in Georgia, you have two counties with two corrupt judges, Cobb County and the judge in Fulton County, because the judge who was presiding over the election interference case in Georgia was also the inspector general. He was supposed to have been looking into the fraud. But for him not looking into the fraud, he got promoted to Superior Court judge as well. So you got two corrupt judges that I know of. I don't know how many y'all know of, but that's two. I'm so disappointed in Mr. Scott.
You get promotions for not doing what you're supposed to do over there. I'm gonna show them a little bit of where we're at now with this. Now you guys understand this is all connected to this voter fraud, situation and them going in and getting them ballots and stuff from Fulton County. But let's see where we at now.
They're on scene during the FBI raid, the lawful execution of a search warrant to go and retrieve fraudulent suspected files. And we'll see exactly what went down in this video, but it comes to us courtesy of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And they have been doing some good reporting, presumably the entire body cam. They just gave us a little bit of a snippet there, but they also gave us a nice recap of everything that went down the day of the raid. They had been reporting on it. This just dropped yesterday. And so we'll go through it in detail before we see that Greg Dolezal, the senator in Georgia, just sent subpoenas to Fannie's lover. Remember this fella right here? That's Nathan Wade. And he just is probably thinking that he escaped all of this blast zone. That didn't happen. So we'll see what the subpoena says. We'll hear from Greg Dolezal, and we'll talk about one of the dumbest secretaries of state in the entire planet, the guy over in Georgia called Gabriel Sterling, who is selectively quoting the Constitution for us, which we don't appreciate, and trying to pass it off as though that's the end of the story. Clerk's office. And so they had to go back and kind of revise the warrant, but they did that and they left with the documents. So they got the footage. Fulton police and the FBI in the footage are kind of sparring over the access and the scope of the warrant. We can piece it together here. Footage was captured by Fulton County police officers. So the local cops showed up. The agents arrived. County officials were largely compliant, even as they expressed concern that the search warrant the FBI came to execute needed to be modified. This is what Atlanta Journal-Constitution is sharing with us today.
We have the right to be here. And we're being very nice.
So did anybody get a physical copy of the search warrant? No. When did they get here? Just unannounced? I'm going to try and have the names of everybody that was out here. I already know how it's going to go, but I mean, if they refuse, that's on them. Thank you. All right, so we were given very limited information.
So we have a search warrant for this, like literally for the entire location. Okay. But now we're amending another search warrant for another location involved.
Another.
So we'll have that for you soon. So
this is all in regards to election side of stuff.
Where you know where we're here, right? So I can't discuss more.
I got you.
More than that, but as long as we keep, big thing is just trying to keep media. If someone let media in here, we keep media clear out of here.
What's happening now is that their warrant is wrong. It had the wrong. It's not in elections possession. It's in clerk's possession. So it had the wrong department.
So on our end, nobody received a copy of.
The attorneys asked them for it. They finally gave them a copy. Then the attorney's like, it's wrong. So they're allegedly waiting for the judge to update it.
What was wrong on there?
It says elections, which we don't have, in which they knew that before they got here.
The warrant will be amended slightly, but for all intents and purposes, what they had is what it's going to look like. We wanted to let her facilitate us moving through the building to unlock the gates so that we don't have to breach it, because one way or the other, the records are coming with us today.
Yeah, one way or another, the records are coming with us.
All right.
Fani Willis's special prosecutor and lover called Nathan Wade, and the assistant DA called Jeff DeSantis. Amazing. So they're ordered to appear February 13th, one day before Valentine's Day. Fani Willis is like, you better be home by tomorrow, all right? Because we're going to the Bahamas on a cruise. Georgians deserve answers about how Big Fanny, the biggest Fanny in all of Georgia, maybe the Southeast, ran a politicized prosecution funded by taxpayers and riddled with conflict. So Nathan is going to get another subpoena. And Dolezal was out. He was explaining, during my 4 hours of questioning of Big Fanny, her unhinged behavior was on full display. And boy, was it unhinged. She came in there with that fur coat and that like $11,000 purse or whatever it was, slammed it on the ground and just started screaming at everybody on the committee. Now we've subpoenaed Nathan, her lover, wonder what she thinks, who was on the phone with Biden's White House for 8 hours, and they hired Jack Smith to go after President Trump. So they were getting information passed to them. Nathan Wade and Fanny, they are not smart enough for a 2019 case, defendant RICO case. So Jack Smith had to give it to him. The J6 committee had to give it to him. They just passed all that information over, and then they gave it to corrupt DAs like Fannie and Tish and Alvin, and they all prosecuted the president. Georgia voters deserve the truth, and boy, is it coming. Good to hear. Here's Dolezal.
We learned that she's an unhinged lunatic.
Yeah.
First and foremost. We saw in that testimony. It was 4 hours. I conducted the questioning. Unhinged is the only adjective that I can use to describe her, Rick. Specifically, we learned that on the day that Jack Smith was appointed by Biden to go after Trump, that Nathan Wade, who was the special prosecutor that Willis hired, that she had a personal relationship with, that he was on the phone that day, according to his billing records, for 8 hours with the White House. We know that he made a trip to D.C. He magically can't remember who he met with in his White House deposition. Willis has no idea who they met with, allegedly, in D.C. There's massive cases of amnesia now here in Atlanta, but what we do know is there was some level of J6 coordination with Willis, and we know that there was some sort of White House coordination. And I can break the news on your show tonight, Rick, that we issued subpoenas today from the Georgia State Senate to subpoena Nathan Wade and Jeff DeSantis, who's the deputy district attorney working under Fonnie Willis, and they have been ordered to appear a week from Friday before the state Senate to testify under oath.
Amazing. Shout out to Greg Dolezal. And what's so interesting is...
All right. Woo! Baby, look. All I know, you muted, Stag. All I know is I hope they air that. You muted. You muted. You muted. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Nope. I should be back, guys. Y'all know this stuff is crazy when we be on this here internet. But what do y'all think? What y'all think in the chat? Do y'all think it's gonna be? Do you think that it was a setup? Do you think? I mean, we know. I feel like we know it's voter fraud. We know that. Ain't nothing else to say. We know that's the case. Whether or not it's gonna makes a difference, we got you now, Stag. And whether or not it's making a difference as far as the 2020 election, I don't even think that's the whole point of it. I think the point is to point out to people, for us as citizens, to be aware that this really do be happening, and it really can happen, and it really does happen, which is why once Stag gets talking, we're gonna talk about why we need to make sure that our senators go ahead and pass this save back and give it to Trump to sign. But go ahead, Stag, what you got?
I think that it's more about the integrity of the elections and knowing that there are people who seek to usurp your vote, your voice in these elections. There were so many things that went wrong in here, and the fact that they don't want to. Like, they'll say, oh, that was 2020. Why can't we just move on? Well, if it was just 2020 so long ago and y'all ran such perfect elections, why y'all fighting so hard from anybody seeing the ballots? What is the problem with that? That is the purpose of retaining the records, right? In case we need to go back and look at them. But y'all, like guard dogs, don't want anybody to look at it. And I want the people in Georgia to understand that you had the governor, the probably lieutenant governor, the secretary of state, who is supposed to be over the running of the election, the inspector general, the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, the Attorney General, had to be the Attorney General, the District Attorney, and the Superior Court Judge in Fulton County, all a part of the cover-up for what happened in 2020. All of them involved in the cover-up. To the point that I'm asking, if Senator Perdue gave that testimony in a grand jury, how did we even end up with an indictment based off of that? Because also it was shown that they did not do the audit to the machines like they said they did, right? They kept telling us they audited the machines, they audited the ballots. They did not one investigation was done into the 2020 election leading up to January 6th and after.
No, that's the thing. Like they're trying their hardest to make us feel like that's not possible. Even though we keep seeing more and more cases of people getting prosecuted for doing things that is election fraud. And I don't understand how people are even falling for that. But then right now, as we're talking about this current election and why they want the SAVE Act to be passed, then everybody is saying that's because they want to steal the election. Like, do they want? Is it they want to steal the election?
How do you steal the election asking for ID?
Exactly.
How are you the one trying to take? Because I've heard them say that they're trying to take over the elections. They're trying to disenfranchise people. People won't be able to vote. How is asking for voter ID any of those things? Oh, and also there are 45 boxes missing from Fulton County. They're supposed to have 700
went in and got all that stuff, they missing something.
They only got 600 and something. Boxes.
Well, I know I'm gonna be tuning in. Are you gonna? If they let us, I'm gonna be tuning in. You gonna be tuning in to see what Nathan got to say?
Yes, I am. So the SAVE Act, because you love to hear Democrats say, Democrats, we control the states, control the elections, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Article 1, Section 4 of the Constitution gives states authority. It's called the Election Clause. Gives states the authority to determine times, places, and manner of holding congressional elections. However, Congress retains the power to alter these regulations by law, except for the specific places of choosing senators. That's your congressional oversight. Congress can step in to set uniform rules, such as requiring elections by districts. This section of the Constitution creates a system of shared power designed to allow states to manage elections while giving the federal government authority to prevent state obstruction or to standardize processes such as voter ID. Like we all need to have voter ID, a uniform process.
Your microphone is sounding a little gurgled.
State control. The state manages voter registration, polling locations, and scheduling for federal elections. That's the state control. So,
and you know what I
want to do? A little bit of the
We
Constitution.
try to, if you guys haven't seen us, we try to, we doing a show, we doing everything, but we really we want people to learn from us. So we know they got y'all scared to death that this SAFE Act gonna stop married women and stop people from being able to, they ain't gonna be able to register, vote, or this and that. And we need y'all to understand, first off, that it has passed the House. It is currently now sitting in the Senate, waiting to pass the Senate, as is, hopefully. And then it will go to the White House. But what we need you guys to truly know is if you are already registered to vote, if you are already a United States citizen and you are registered to vote and you are in the same location, same address, you don't need to change your registration or anything, it is not going to affect you. You just will need to show up and vote with an ID. But I live somewhere where you got to show an ID anyway. And it will need to be a real ID, though. It will need to be a real ID. If you are someone who is not currently registered, or you do move, or you do get married, or something like that, then when you go to register, you will need to bring proof of citizenship. That's going to be your birth certificate, or your passport, or if you got naturalization papers, or anything like that, then you will have to bring that. If you are married and you was just married, bring your marriage certificate with your new last name and your birth certificate with your old last name. That ain't hard. It is nothing that we can do that takes care of business in this country that you don't need to prove who you are. So that's it. That's all. If you want to wait, if it was me, I got married a month before, I would wait to change my name, go vote, then go do all that stuff. But it's up to
Y'all got
you.
9 months to get it together.
Exactly.
Get it together.
You got to do, if you want to go get some benefits or want to go get whatever you need, you get all the paperwork together that you need when you signing up for something. So it's the same situation. And if you show up to the place trying to register the day of, understand, and now this is for federal elections. This is federal elections too. Understand, they are going to require you to show those things in proof of citizenship. Anybody that they don't have in the system, that they don't have has been proven that they're citizens, they are clearing that register. So you will have to re-register and you will have to prove that you are a citizen. And for me, I definitely think it is needed because there is no accident that they have let all these people in. We know it was for a reason, and I truly believe it was for votes. But what you think?
So yeah, I agree with absolutely everything that you said. But another thing is to also make sure that those ballots that are cast actually belong to real voters. Because that's what we finding out in Fulton County, that a lot of the ballots that they counted didn't belong to anybody. So, yeah, but y'all got 9 months to get it together. If you don't want to take these 9 months to do what you got to do then you don't want to participate in the political process, and ain't nobody's fault but your own. And Democrats need to stop crying and acting like y'all are infants and don't know how to get an ID. I have lived in 2 states that require ID when you vote, and I've never had a problem.
Well, they saying because you black folks, y'all just ain't intelligent enough to be able to know how to go get an ID, and this is the newest form of Jim Crow laws, and this is racism, because as grown as we is, and we doing and taking care of anything that we need to take care of, now all of a sudden for voting, we ain't gonna know how to get an ID. And if you somebody who got your little summer wedding planned and you're gonna get married in the summer, then guess what? Soon as you get married, if you just so happy and excited to change your last name, you need to go right on and re-register and register to vote right then and there, period.
Because I'm sure they let you register wherever you get your name changed at. Do it all in one month.
Do it all, exactly. So,
and I don't understand why they make it seem as if that's like some chore to where all you have to do is bring your marriage certificate and what?
When you change your social security card, when you change your ID when you marry, you got to take that stuff in there. That's what I'm saying. It's just another ploy. It's just another thing that they are doing to get people in an emotional uproar, because especially, and it's crazy because they only catering it to black people. When you mention Jim Crow, you sure ain't talking about no Hispanics and no Asians. So we the only dum-dums don't know how to go get our ID. It's basically what they saying. But we're gonna go ahead and move to our final segment before we get to Stags. I Just Can't moment. You all know, if you all know, that is something you want to watch. Wait, if you're not on our YouTube, or make sure you head on over to our YouTube so you can watch the full show. Tap if you are here. Thanks everybody who is here. Share out the live. Make sure you're giving us a thumbs up. Don't leave without giving us a thumbs up. Interact with us right now over here so that YouTube can send us out. What's that? I'm doing entertainment. I don't know if you seen trending topics. So it is time for trending topics, and there's no way we would not be able to do trending topics and not talk about what went on Sunday and what everybody is thinking. So let's see here. You're gonna tell me, I know you probably didn't see it. I didn't either, so we'll get a little glimpse, but we gotta talk about Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl. Because it has been the talk of the town. First, yeah, you said boo. At first it was It was the highest performing show. This is not. They said all that before they got the real count. Now I seen something where they got the real count, and he was the fifth or sixth highest performance. He Kendrick Lamar is still at the top. I think at 133 million viewers or something. Then we know that TPUSA was doing their own little halftime show at the same time. So it was the battle of the halftime shows. But I'm gonna show you a little bit from this, I guess a little snippet, and then I'll tell you why people are having a problem with it and all that. But here we go. Let's see. Let me get the sound up so people can hear what they ain't gonna understand, but we gonna let y'all hear it. Let's go. Is it not? Wait a minute, where's sound at? Hold on now. There we go. So what you think, Stan? Unmute yourself.
Was that Alice in Wonderland? Let me tell you, I didn't watch none of that crap. I saw a clip. Did they have them like running through like the forest, the trees, stuff like that? What was they doing? Running their way to America, supposedly? He trying to show us illegally crossing our border. Is that what he's showing?
Well, he's from Puerto Rico, so he couldn't. Let me see if this is it. Let's see.
Performance depicting the world's biggest party gone wrong. The high-energy reggaeton performance even getting a seal of approval from one of country music's biggest stars, Kane Brown.
Okay. I know at some point. Now, first, let me just tell you how these liberals do. Right, it's a point on there where he goes, because they showed it, where he goes and he gives a Grammy to a young kid sitting watching TV with his let me see if I can find it, with his parents. And so you already know that the liberals then tried to make it be that he was giving the Grammy to the little boy, the 5-year-old, the one who daddy left him. And they said see, yeah, he did it. Okay, here it go. Let me see. I'm gonna get it real quick. I just gotta show it. They talk about why. I'm sorry, it's so funny. They know they be trying their darndest to make be something. Here you go.
Bad Bunny making up.
Okay, so did you see that? So they tried to twist and say, oh, and Bad Bunny even added a segment where he gave whatever little Eduardo, whatever, I don't know poor little boy name, but the one with the little hat, where he was giving him his Grammy, and then Bad Bunny comes out and tells what it really was. So you even see it on here. Bad Bunny, did he give Liam? Yeah, that's his name, Liam, 5-year-old detained by ICE. Now, why would y'all think, first of all, why would you even think that he would be doing that? That little boy wasn't from Puerto Rico. So why would he be giving him his doggone Grammy? But however, Bad Bunny ends up telling them, no, this was like the story of his life, and he was coming and giving the Grammy to his younger self. You know, like, look what you made it. So now them trying to make everything politics, them trying to make everything about ICE. Y'all didn't sit there and talk this man's that they say it's like a this went out again. They say it's like a felt like it was devil worshiping and stuff like that. I don't know. What did y'all did anybody here watching? Did y'all actually watch it? What did y'all think? Did y'all think it was devil worshiping? Did you have a problem with the fact that it wasn't English? Because he wasn't speaking no English. You said BS, that's the mural from the Denver airport. Oh my God, yucky. Did you have a problem with it being in Spanish? You know, all of the people say that all of us right now, we're just mean and we don't have any empathy for anybody who is not, we don't have any empathy for anybody who is not American, well, not from the straight United States of America. And we just some meanies. I think that for me, I know I wouldn't have been able to watch along with it being in Spanish, because even though I think I could speak Spanish good, I definitely wouldn't have been understanding. And they were just saying it was a lot of too much sex talk. And then Donald Trump Jr., he posted something with the lyrics, and the lyrics was talking about your poon poon and your peen and your. I mean, it was just a bunch of stuff that I don't know why they would be talking about that at the Super Bowl. But what are your thoughts? You muted, Stag. You muted. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Hold on, guys. We look. If it ain't me having technical difficulties, they made it political football as an American event. It was very non-American and hating. I agree. I think that still can't hear you, Stack. Oh, hold on. Say something now. Say something now, Stack. Hold on. She went out. All right, yeah, I agree, guys. I don't think that, I mean, I understand we have all kind of cultures and stuff here, and I don't have a problem with that, any of that. Okay, I think this is going to be good. Okay. There you go. Talk now. I hear you. Yes. So what you think? Do you have a problem with it being all in Spanish? Do you have a problem with I guess we can't have a problem with what he was singing about in his performance, because Rihanna, Beyonce, all of them was up there gyrating and doing all that stuff. But I don't think that by it being a football and an American sport like that, I don't know. I don't think it should have been all in Spanish. But what you think?
Yeah, I don't think that it should have been in Spanish. I think that maybe that was I got an echo. That maybe that was a middle finger to the administration, since they've made English the official language, to say, you know, and I don't know who, then Americans weren't your audience.
Yeah.
Then we weren't your audience. And I think that it's disrespectful to take one of the most American events that we have and pretty much exclude Americans. Make it not about anything American, but people breaking into the country, and then leave us out of the conversation. Because like somebody said, it's like when you go somewhere and they're there and they just start speaking Spanish and you don't know what they're saying. That's what the Super Bowl did.
That's what it felt like. Yeah, I could see that. I could imagine the people in attendance. Well, we had a comment that said he hates America. Why have this is from Leilani? Why have someone who hates America perform on an important day for Americans? I agree.
Well, they also had I forgot. I lost my thought.
That's okay. We'll go with another comment. Shahid said the NFL commissioner is clearly a Democrat with that BS.
Where are all these people at?
You don't see the comments?
No.
on the screen? Yeah, well, this is
No.
in our TT. I read one from there, and then but Shahid is on here. I put it. It's on the screen.
Hmm.
Well, do you think
I
that it
don't
was a smart thing to do, or made sense for TPUSA to do a actual to do one as well, or you feel like
I think that may be a big thing because it will give competition to the Super Bowl. But then the NFL is trying to become a global thing. I don't think that they used America to build up this thing that is the Super Bowl hype, and now they're trying to make this a global thing. So I don't think they care what Americans think, but I think it's a slap in the face to Americans because we built that up, and that, like I said, is one of the most American pastimes, the Super Bowl, right? And the TPSU, I think they did absolutely
let's
awesome
how about
considering
before
all
we
the
do,
numbers.
because I am sure I got a feeling that when you see this you're gonna say, okay, this seems more a more American. Well, let's see.
American halftime show, and this one's for you, Charlie.
Yes, I like it.
All right, so what you think? More American than the
Yes,
actual
absolutely.
American halftime show for the football game? Like, yeah,
Absolutely. And you know what else that I would say too, Mo? I would say that you can't count on a lot of the views for the halftime show because people are already watching the game. So of course their TVs are there and people be doing other stuff. And a lot of times people watch for the commercials, right? So it wasn't that they really, you know, cared because I've seen the videos of the people in the stands. Nobody was, it was quiet.
I
Nobody was
got
moving, nobody was dancing. A couple, people was dancing
yeah.
here and there, but the crowd was not impressed.
I got one more to show you that I don't think you saw or you heard about, but I think that this was a good one, and maybe they should have used this and did this for the halftime. But let's see. Let's go.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmony
Hold on. Let me unmute you. What did you think?
No,
Why?
no.
Why?
That's a bunch of pandering, and it ain't got no. We already got a national anthem, and it's called the Star Spangled Banner. That's what it is. Is every group now gonna have their own national anthem?
Well,
You know,
why I believe they did that now, because it's during Black History Month. That's
no,
why
they did it last year. They pandering to the blacks.
Did they? I didn't know. Well, I like Coco, and she looked classy and pretty, and she had a nice voice.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't like her doing that, just letting them use for pandering and attention and stuff. We got one national anthem.
Yeah. Well, I don't even. That's the thing. I don't know. I mean, somebody had to tell me. Maybe somebody who watched it tell me. I don't know if they did the national anthem.
This further again is separating Black Americans from what it is to be American. That you think that we need our own national anthem, when the anthem of America is Star Spangled Banner. Why do we need a separate one? I'm so mad about this.
Look, I might need to start. I might need to do the I just came moment right now. Well, over on TT, when they heard you, they over there saying stag with laughing emojis because you said no. See, they over here cracking up at you.
No.
But when she was 11, she sang it at a football game.
America, this is some bull. I don't like it, because you saying that you're not a part of the nation, that you need your own whatever that was. I don't like it. Right? And if you're gonna talk about how much you want equality and you want to be a part of this, because Mo, what I sent you when we was reading, what was the thing that these people wanted? They wanted to exercise the rights that they had as free Americans, right? They wasn't thinking about some other land somewhere else. They wanted to be Americans. That's what your ancestors fought for, to be full-fledged. And then here y'all come and let these damn white ass fucking
Hold on. I feel like I got a just can't moment. Hold on. Keep going. But I'm finna go. We gonna keep going.
These white liberals, that y'all are something separate from American. You need your own anthem and your own. No, I didn't sign up for that. It's unacceptable, and you go do that on your own. Go start your own league, and then you can sing as many damn anthems as you want. You can get the Asians to get their anthem together, the Latinos to get their anthem together, and y'all can have your own party. But stop trying to put that up there on a pedestal as if that is something. That ain't everybody. I don't know who the fuck said that was the Black national anthem. I didn't agree to it. Okay? Who decided that we needed our own anthem in the country that we are from? I'm so mad at I'm so mad. I can't look. Jesus, take the wheel. I can't. No. Whoever, no. Don't do it again.
All right, y'all. Well, we got an impromptu. I'm sure that ain't even probably what she was going to talk about. But you know what? I have been managing to come up with stuff that sends you off right at the right time for the past 2 episodes. I picked the right thing to send you off, and I love it. That means we are in tune. And this just goes and goes and goes. Stag ain't playing. Look, Stag said, don't y'all be doing that. Coco, you cute, I might like you, but don't you let them have you singing that at the Super Bowl. Not there another time, huh, Stag? You there? You froze? You hear me? You there, Stag? Can you hear me?
That's that separatism thing again, where they trying to say that these white liberals is basically saying you not American. And y'all just run with that because you want to feel special and be put on some kind of pedestal or something. But it's just separating you. Basically, they saying you're not good enough to be just American.
Yeah.
Can't stand white liberals.
Okay, so what we're gonna do? Because I can tell you this, we're gonna roll on into Mo's Money Minute, give you a chance to calm down, relax, because they done pissed my sister off with this Black national anthem at the Super Bowl. You know, I already had Bad Bunny gyrating and breaking into the country, singing in Spanish. Then you got Coco singing the Black national anthem. We tired. Sag tired. But now we're gonna roll into our next segment, which is Mo's Money Minute. And you guys know I try my best to give you a money tip under a minute. Usually it's about a minute and a half. But hey y'all, it's your girl Monique J. And welcome to Mo's Money Minute, where we make money make sense. Well, this week I'm going to be talking about getting started in small stock investing. Because yes, you can start even with a little bit if you don't have thousands and a lot of money hanging around, right? So let me give you 3 quick tips that'll help you get started in the best way. So the first thing to do is start with what you know. I always tell people, what do you spend your money on every day? What do you buy? That is what you should invest in, because why not get money back from what you spend your money for? It always makes sense to me. What companies do you trust already? And if you shop there and if you use their app or whatever it is, do some research, see if they're available on the stock market, and start investing in your favorite company that you actually spend money on. Now, I know you guys say, I talk about this all the time. Well, I don't have a lot of money. How do I invest? How do I do this? I don't have thousands of dollars laying around. Well, you can definitely invest in small increments, and there are good platforms that allow you to do that. The platforms that I recommend and that I like are Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Robinhood, and even CashApp has CashApp investing, and there are a few more. But if you want to know, my number one that I love is going to be Fidelity and then Charles Schwab. So you can look on those platforms, see how you're able to invest in fractional shares as much as little as $5 if you got 100. But y'all know it's going to be tax season. I say if you can afford to do that, maybe take 2 to 5% of your tax refund and go ahead and set up you one of those accounts and start investing. This is the way in which you will be able to earn money. And if you did not know, when you earn money on capital gains tax, on capital gains, the taxation on it is much lower than payroll tax. And then tip 3, invest consistently, not emotionally. Okay, so I said pick places you like, but don't be crazy and spend too much. You want to make sure that you take time, understand the market, pick an amount you can afford, and then invest that consistently. So this is called the dollar cost averaging, and it helps you build wealth over time without stressing over daily market ups and downs. So this is the thing, guys. You had 3 tips. This is a way to get started. It's during tax time. All you have to do is take small investments. They can turn into big results. You can stay consistent. And if you want to build a strategy, you need to budget, invest, and start making smarter money moves. Well, this has been Mo, and this has been my Mo's Money Minute. I hope you guys learned something for it, and thanks for tuning in to the Proud Mary Podcast. All right, we backstage. Was that good? I hope I got under a minute. I think it was a little longer. But yes. So we are winding down. We did today. What were we recap? We talked about them Epstein files, Keith Ellison and the fraud in Minnesota, Fannie and her little fraudulent voting self, and we can't wait to see her man tomorrow. We got the Clintons. You guys don't forget that. Well, we got the Clintons are going to be testifying before Congress, whatever deposition, whatever they're doing before Congress at the end of the month. Do they have anybody else? Oh, we did Pam Bondi, because she had to get on them today and show her little toughness, trying to, she didn't got Trumpicized or whatever, but she needs to just stop trying. I mean, she needs to do her job. She needs to stop trying to be tough talking.
Because it sounds like a little kid trying to tough talk, and they don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not buying it. I don't think. And then she keeps, she do this. She got to push her hair back and make sure, but the little girl behind her, like I said, I don't know if you watch. If you watch again, she started out looking all cute. Her hair was all down, straight, all that. Then I think, like I said, they was pissing her off for treating Pam how they was treating Pam. By about the second hour or two, her hair was in a ponytail to the side, like she was ready to go to war. She like, y'all better leave my boss alone. She did. And then little Ro Connor Jr., did you see him sitting back there behind her? He looked like the other, is he a representative or a Senator Ro Connor who working with? Yeah, you got to look at when you watch. Look, that little boy looked just like him. He looked like his son or something. I said, now I know he ain't gonna be on the Republican side, but I called him Ro Connor Jr. And then what else we got?
Me too.
It's like they were pointing their finger instead of exposing everything. Yeah, so I know I'm gonna dig a little deeper into everything, like you said, as far as with more, because I had issues. I'm tired of the files, and I'm not tired of them. I do understand that we have to, and this is something I was saying, like, while we're so hyper focused on him, when he quote unquote is gone, right? Them weirdos didn't just disappear. They're still out here. So I feel like we should be taking our time to find the next one. The one that's going on right now. Might not be an island, but it's somewhere else. It could be in this state, in this country. It could be in another country. I feel like we need to be honest, like you said, and point out the people who are still out here and who we know was literally involved in the stuff and who's still alive. Because they ain't just all of a sudden got out of being a weirdo and a freak-a-leak. You know, these people doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and it's like as one goes down, of course there's somebody to take their place, right? This don't just stop. This ain't the only, Epstein is not the only one
right
that, you know, got a playground for them to play in. So, because Kathy O'Brien, I want to say, was one of the Clinton victims. She's been very, very outspoken. She was the Virginia Giuffre of the 80s. And she said that, I want to say that, no, there might have been another one that said that the Mackinac Island in Michigan, that was the original Epstein Island. So, I mean, it's islands all over the place.
They like islands like I do for different reasons. I like to lay out on the beach and have a cocktail. They trying to do cock and tail. that wasn't funny, but but it went right on in. Well, we're gonna wrap things up. I'm not sure if we're gonna do an after show on TikTok, because I know I see my co-host is a little yawning, so I do I peeps her and notices, but we will let you guys know if we do an after show. If we will, it will be on 92 Stags page. And so you'll just have to head there and know. But I have enjoyed the show as always. We appreciate each and every person who is on YouTube, who's on Rumble, who happened for the first time to be with us on TikTok. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you shared, if you're on TikTok and you have not went over to YouTube or to Rumble, go to both of them. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, and hit the notification bell so you can know when we are live. Reason we don't do a lot here, because you know TikTok and old Stag, after I tell you, they already did give me a restriction too. So I don't know where we was, but we said something, you know, TikTok, you got to talk like children, and we prefer to talk like adults over here. So, but we wanted to do that so we can get you guys and move you on over to make sure that you're subscribed on our YouTube. And we are found on all podcast platforms. So we air each episode that we do live on podcast, which is going to be on Spotify, it is on Prime, it is on iHeart and Apple Podcasts. So you guys can definitely catch us on there too. If you catch up on the episode, if you didn't see the full episode, they replay, we do shorts, we do everything. We keeping this thing going. I am so pleased to announce we have completed our fourth full month on air. So yay to us. We have kept up. We have only missed 1 week during the holiday. And so I'm proud of me and you, Stag, and we just got to keep it going. We got to continue to rely on our amazing supporters that are going to get us out there. And one day we gonna be at 1 million subscribers too, you know. And then y'all will be thinking we ain't gonna forget y'all. Love you too, Leilani. We ain't gonna forget y'all. We ain't like that. We gonna still remember all our day ones, because that's what you wouldn't make it without you. So, Stag, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, appreciate everybody for tuning in with us and coming and getting this news that you can use, and getting into the weeds of the stories and what's going on and giving our opinions and everything. Thank you for, wanting to hear what we have to say about stuff. I appreciate that.
Yes, I thank you guys too. And until next time, we thank you for tuning in to the Proud Mary podcast, where we give it to you nice when we can, yet rough when we must.
Love when we must.
See ya.